Good morning to you. This is early morning, and normally I'm not dressed up in the morning, but I have inspiration coming from my dreams, and I have inspiration that comes upon awakeness. So I've taken a clip from TikTok, I think, and I thought this is really interesting. Paul McCartney is talking about himself, and he's a real honest man.
Worry about things, and it doesn't matter how elevated you get or your reputation gets, you still worry about things.
I call this pure honesty, isn't that right? And it's a fact, right? You get worried, and you're worried about things, and you might be well elevated, you might be a very rich man, but you're still worried about things. And I've asked myself many times this question: what am I worried about? Or why am I worried? Have you? When I was younger, I have a tendency to be very worried. And I don't know what's coming next. There's a whole lot of uncertainty in my life. I have a business to take care of. And I think about this and think about that, and never sure of what I'm doing. So I have to get worried. And that's probably the reason why Paul is worried. But Paul is now very old, and he's now very rich, right? So the question in my mind is that, why are you worried when everything is with you? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And the reply that people give to me is usually this: life is uncertain, isn't it, David? I mean, I don't know what is going to take place tomorrow. And every time I do something, I'm not sure that what I'm doing is correct, right? So how can there be certainty? And that's why I'm always worried. Then I will reply and tell them, so if that's the case, then life is a suffering, isn't it? Because to you, there is always uncertainty. And since it cannot be certain, then life is a suffering. Is that true or not?
What are you worried about? What else do you have to prove?
I've heard people say that about me. He wants to be liked. But doesn't everyone?
Do you worry more now than you used to?
No, it's just who I am, maybe, For instance, when we were now famous with the Beatles, and we had done Revolver, one of the early Beatle records, and I got the horrors one day. I thought it was out of tune. I thought the whole album was out of tune. I listened to it, and for some reason, oh my God. And I went to the guys. I said, it's out of tune. I don't know what we're going to do, And they said, and they got a bit worried. Listen to it. They said, no, it isn't. I go, okay.
Now, Paul McCartney actually gave us the answer. He related an incident that happened in his life. Because he's a creator of music, and he has been enjoying fantastic, best-selling music from himself, you would expect that he would be very, very happy with all his music, right? But very interestingly, one day, he thought that the recording was out of tune. And he was completely shocked. He kept hearing his own voice, but it was out of tune, he said. Gosh, what happened? And the other Beatles members assured him, no, it's not. It's not out of tune. And it must have comforted him for that moment. But you see, my friend, he gave us the answer why there is worry. It was not the music that he was uncertain about, right? It was himself that he was uncertain about. And it is happening with everybody. Yes. And because of his honesty, he related this event. It acts as a very good illustration of what is happening to all of us. And that's why I quoted it from him. Is the uncertainty the result of the world, or is it because we are uncertain about ourselves? Now, we don't really want to admit it, right? Many times we say that the world is uncertain. But in truth, and as I get older in my life, I realize that it's I who is the cause of that uncertainty. Before, when I was younger, I did not touch me. I live my life, I do my business, I did many, many good things, but I'm never certain because the person who is doing it is never certain himself. So it's very important that I should touch me. Then I began to realize the certainty of me, and that makes the whole world certain also. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say, but it all boils down to me. You see, what is certainty? Certainty is you are certain that whatever you're doing is the correct move. Isn't that right? So if you worry that something will go wrong, then it means that you are not certain about your own action. And if you are not certain about your action, it simply means that you are not certain about yourself. So, what I'm trying to say is that the certainty of this world actually really boils down to the certainty of my own self. So if I'm not certain of me doing anything, then of course the world will remain uncertain all the time. And life could well be a suffering. I've always stressed the importance of touching me. You may go through life enjoying everything that is around in your life, but if you haven't touched me, somehow something is missing. Isn't that right? The very person that is enjoying is not really there. So when you touch me, that person who is enjoying is really here. And when I realize that I'm here and I am enjoying the world, suddenly the whole world becomes happy because it is I. You see the point I'm trying to stress? But it's kind of funny, you know. Am I not here? You'll be saying to yourself, right? I mean, I'm David Xu, right? And I should be certain of myself, right? Am I not here? But very funny, and you may not realize it, that for some reason or another, that when you say, am I not here? That I, which you're referring to, is just a thought in your mind. We haven't really touched me. It's very crazy, but it's true. We haven't really touched me. Just simply saying that I am here doesn't mean I am here, because the word I is just a thought. Very funny. Knowing me is not enough, because if you know me, you just simply create an idea of me. But you have to touch me to realize the certainty that I'm still here. And that makes everything that I'm seeing around me certain. And all our life we are seeing a movie show where in that movie you think you're there. And you're so absorbed in that movie that you don't realize that there is a presence that is watching the movie, which is not the movie show at all. So, and because we are so involved in that movie, that we cannot see our presence. So that movie reflects us, but we see it as people in that movie, and we don't really relate to the presence that is actually the creator of that movie. Kind of funny, right? That we see a world and we don't see ourselves, and everything that we are complaining about is the world and not about ourselves. Right? So if the world is not treating you well, you feel that it's the world that's not treating me well. But what you didn't realize is actually I'm not treating myself well. And that's why I saw the world as treating me not well. When you see somebody not loving you, you complain and you say he is someone who don't like me. And so you avoided him. But if you really could observe yourself very well, you would realize that it is you who don't believe in yourself, who don't love yourself. And that's why you saw the other guy as not loving yourself. So your avoidance of him is a mistake. You should have opened up yourself to him. But we didn't do that because we thought that he didn't love me. Notice the illusion of what we see. And this illusion is simply caused by the fact that we don't realize that it is I who is the causation of everything. So you must be asking yourself, and I want you to ask yourself, why is it that you don't believe in yourself? You're saying that the world is uncertain, you worry a lot, but why can't you believe in yourself that what you have done is good and perfect? Why can't you believe in yourself? Because you lack that belief in yourself, so as a result, the whole world is uncertain. Not only that, everyone else is not liking you, but actually in truth, you don't like yourself, you don't believe in yourself. It's a very, very sad thing, right? Yourself is all that is in this world. Get it straight. The reality that you are having all around you is all the result of yourself. There is no other person actually. Yourself is the only person in this world, isn't that right? So if you cannot believe in yourself, what is happening? So I'm asking you, get it very, very straight with yourself right now. You have to believe in yourself because yourself is all that you got. And yet the very funny thing is that we go hunting for things which are outside ourselves. We go hunting for people to like us. We go hunting for things to own. We go hunting for projects and games to make us happy. But ourselves don't like ourselves, and how can anything in this world make us happy if ourselves don't like ourselves? In all my videos, I always said that the world in which you lived in is only a reflection of me. Isn't that right? Yeah. So in other words, if you feel that this world is sinful, think twice. That's right. If you think that this world is an ugly place to live in, think twice. That's right. If you love yourself, I can bet you 100%, this world is a beautiful place to live in. God, or the universe, or reality is a very, very good place to live in. This universe is perfect. And that's why you find in the Bible that God saw everything that He had made. And He saw it very good. There is no defect in this world. If there is a defect, it's simply because you don't like yourself. There are two reasons why we don't like ourselves. I'll make it very clear. We don't like ourselves because we are seeing a movie show and we don't realize that there's a presence that is watching the movie show. So we cannot possibly like ourselves because ourselves is hidden behind a movie show. Unless we awaken to the true presence, we can never like ourselves. It is beyond our reach because the self that we are thinking about is only a mental illusion and there is no me whatsoever. That's the first reason. The second reason why we don't like ourselves is because we don't do what is right. Now, if we don't do what is right in our life, we will kind of don't want to know ourselves. So you push it back behind and we continue to watch the movie. But that's an easier way out. Forget about ourselves and just look at the movie. So that's the second reason why we cannot realize ourselves. How did it happen that I don't like myself? I'll tell you how. Okay. You see, what happened was that deep down inside ourselves, there is a conscience. I call it me, but many people call it conscience. Deep down in ourselves, we know that we must be honest. When you tell a lie to your friend, do you realize that you feel guilty? That's right? Yes, correct. Now, nobody told you that lying is wrong. When I was a boy, when I lied to my father, oh my goodness, I was very shameful of that lying. And nobody told me not to lie. I lied, and I felt guilty in myself. You can call it conscience. I tell you the truth. The I am inside me tells me it is wrong to tell a lie. Okay? So now what's happening? So every time we do something wrong, okay, there is a guilt. And nobody needs to teach you that it is wrong. If you steal what doesn't belong to you, if you take something from somebody and you don't pay back, there is something wrong too. If you think it's a gift to yourself and you don't want to return that gift to the other party, there is also a guilt in you. And it is this guilt, this accumulated guilt, you may put it, that hits you. Because there is the I am inside me. This I am inside me is not happy with me every time I do something wrong. Even a small lie that I make to a friend, I don't feel good inside myself. And so the I am is angry with me. And that's why I don't feel happy with myself. The reason why I don't cover myself up too much is because covering myself up is a kind of lie. I mean, if I'm so shy to tell other people exactly what I am, okay, then I'm lying, isn't that right? Yes, that's true. So just, so be natural with myself is the way I live in this world. I find it very, very difficult even to take a gift from another person. Because accepting a gift is against the law of the universe. Because there's no such gift in this universe. Go around the universe and find if there's a gift. Everything is based on the laws of the universe. And the laws is always about action equals to opposite reaction. To get something, you always have to give back something. There's no such thing as a gift. If you ever think that there's such a thing as a giver that gives you all the time, and you don't have to pay back, you are a stealer. Isn't that right? I mean, that person might be giving you, that's okay. But if you're not giving back, you yourself is stealing. And that's the reason why you're not happy with yourself. It's the reason why people don't love themselves. They break the laws of the universe. That's right. And the I am hates you for breaking the law that is all around us. And one of the greatest law is the second commandment. It says, thou shalt not make for thyself a graven image in the form of anything in the heavens above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below the earth. You shall not bow to them. You shall not bow to any gods you shall not serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Now read this carefully. The commandments that are written in the Bible, in an ancient book, and you clearly know that every time you say that this person is saving me, you are actually creating an idol that actually hurts your soul. Because nobody can really save me. It is I who saves myself. Because I am the reality of this universe. I'm the one who opened my eyes and see this world. Isn't that right? So it is I who created this world. And if I can say that somebody is helping me in this life, I am committing a terrible, terrible, terrible wrong. Because it is I who saved me, and there is no one else. It is written in the Bible, okay? I am that I am, and that is my name forever, right? And there is no God besides me, and there is no Savior besides me. It is written in the Bible. There is no Savior besides me. Gosh. So that is why we hate ourselves. Let me say something very important here. Why is it that we tend to hide ourselves from ourselves? The reason is because we have committed a lot of wrongdoings, and we don't want to admit that wrongdoings, so we lie to ourselves. You may not realize this, but when Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, what happened? They immediately took a leaves to cover themselves, to cover their nakedness. That's right. And was that wrong? You see, when you cover up yourself, you actually cover up yourself from yourself. You have done the greatest evil of all. Do you know that? You see, every night when I sleep, I don't have to wear my clothes on. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just giving you a metaphor. That's right. I'm just telling you that hiding yourself from yourself is not a good thing. Our greatest problem in this world is that we don't know who we are. It is not because somebody is hiding from me. No. It's because I am hiding from myself. Why do you hide yourself from yourself? It's because of accumulated guilt. And when you hide yourself from yourself, it's as if you are no more there. This is a tragedy of mankind. When you hide yourself from yourself, it's as if you are no more there. And when you hide yourself from yourself, you begin to hate yourself. You don't value yourself. You discard yourself. And because of that, you see the whole world hating you. And because of that, you're not happy. You become very uncertain about everything that is taking place because you're no longer certain about yourself, because you don't know who you are, because you never touch yourself. Why? Because you hide yourself from yourself. And how can I stop doing that? You must ask yourself. How can I stop hiding myself from myself? Well, I've spoken many times in my video. The solution is simple. You observe your thoughts. Why? Because your thoughts is the other part of you. So you observe your thoughts. And if you can do that many, many times, what will be happening is that you open yourself to yourself. And all your thoughts that you have no longer hides itself from you, but instead the voice of the thought is revealing to you the true nature of what is me. And suddenly you become aware of your own presence, the breath that breathes in you. And suddenly you have found the whole world. Why? Because me is the whole world, isn't that right? And when you have found me, the singularity, the whole universe revolves around you. And I can bet you, and I promise you, that everything that you wanted will come true. Naturally. Naturally. Why? Because me is everything the world is. And when I found me, I found everything the world is. Get to yourself. That's the greatest, most important secret of all. But the problem is that you hate yourself. And why? Because you don't want to obey the laws of the universe. You lie, you hide, and you judge other people. Follow my videos. I'll teach you more about the way of living that opens up yourself more and more to yourself, so that upon discovery of yourself, you manifest everything that is your will, and the whole world will begin to come to you. That's right, because you love yourself. Before I close this video, I must emphasize the most important thing in this video, and don't miss it. It's all about hiding ourselves from ourselves. That's true. But why do we do that? It's because we are guilty of disobeying the laws. That's right. When we lie, when we cheat, when we steal, when we do things that are wrong, we have a guilt inside us and we hide ourselves from ourselves. And the causation of all our problems arises from that. When we hide ourselves from ourselves, inevitably we devalue ourselves. We no longer exist. And as a result of which, we never get what we want in this world. And we find the world a very difficult place to live in. People are not giving us what we want. And the reason is simple. It's because we hide ourselves from ourselves. And why do we do that? Because we are guilty. And why do we be guilty? Because we do things which are wrong. So I'm encouraging you, my friend, you who watch my videos, do what is right in your life. That's right. Do what is right in your life, so that when you observe your thoughts, you will find it easier to observe your thoughts. The reason is because when you observe your thoughts of yourself may become very ugly, and you don't want to hear yourself. You don't want to disclose yourself to yourself. It's because you're guilty. So my friends, in your travel in this universe, do good to yourself by doing good to other people. Do not lie. Do not do a wrong thing in this world, and you are assured that your life will be good. Before I forget, there are friends who come to me and say, I'm a good guy. Jesus has forgiven me of my sins. Then I tell them, okay, Jesus has forgiven you of your sins. But the point is that if you are not doing good in your life, you will hide yourself from yourself. And if you hide yourself from yourself, you will not get what you want in this world. Because Jesus himself tells you, if you love me, keep my commandments. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. People in this world, they want this miracle in their life. They want to get what they want. They want to live a happy life, and they want the life to treat them well. They've been praying for the good life, and they're asking for this good life to come to them. And I wish them good. But I always have to tell them, for the good life to come to you, you have to do good. You have to keep the commandments that are written in the Bible. You have to keep the commandments of the good life. You have to follow what Buddha tells you to do. You have to live good so that you will not hide yourself from yourself. And by not hiding yourself from yourself, the me will be revealed in you, and you will see goodness everywhere. The miracle of life is doing good. But people prefer the shortcut. And they thought they could achieve something without doing good. Gosh, You want to get what you want, you have to do good in your life. Understand now. How can you ever get what you want if all your life you're just sitting as an audience watching the movie show? You're inside the movie show, and the movie show dictates your life, and you don't even know that you're watching the movie show. Your presence outside the movie show is never realized by you at all. How could you get anything out of life? And the funny thing about it is the movie show is dictating your life. You're not dictating your life at all. You cannot get what you want. It is the movie show that is giving you what you want, because you're not yourself. It's the movie show that is yourself. Gosh, you have to do the first thing first, right? And you have to get back to your presence. But I'm also telling you that the reason why you divorce from yourself is simply because we have done wrong in our life. That's right. You see, the story of the Garden of Eden, the first thing that was wrong was that when they became aware of the knowledge of good and evil, they saw their own nakedness, and suddenly they put on their clothes to cover themselves up. That was the greatest evil of existence. It's not about the devil deceiving them. It's about they deceiving themselves by wearing a clothes so that they could not see themselves. That's the greatest error of existence. Discover yourself. Let me lead you home. That's right. Let me encourage you and help you to discover yourself. And discovering yourself is, gosh, something beyond the reach of many, many people. But still, you can try. Isn't that right? First thing, be a good boy. That's right. Secondly, observe yourself. Observe your thoughts. Spend your time with yourself. You're on the way. God bless you.